In the space between, I'm reaching for a love I can't quite see, caught in the echo of the longing, waiting for what's meant to be. We may never touch, but we're close enough. In the space between, I find your love.
I don't know when it started. Maybe it was the first time I saw the moon reflected in a puddle, and for a second, it felt like you were there, just out of sight.
I know that feeling. It's not a voice or a face, but something more, isn't it? Something you can't quite touch, but you know it's there, pulling you.
Yes, and when I look, you're gone. Always just out of reach. I've stood in the crowd, thinking I saw you, but when I turned, it was nothing.
The dance of longing. It's always like this search for something just beyond our grasp. But in the not knowing, in the waiting, there's a deeper kind of knowing. Not all connections are meant to be reached. Sometimes they are meant to be felt.
I wish I could touch you, feel you in the flesh, but I only sense your presence like a whisper on the wind. It's frustrating, this feeling of never quite arriving.
But that's it, isn't it? It's the feeling that matters. The search, the chase, the hope that one day, maybe tomorrow, we'll finally meet.
You are already meeting, in the spaces between, in the quiet moments of reflection. The search is the connection. It's what brings you closer, even when you're apart.
I used to think this was loneliness, but now I see it's more like a space waiting to be filled, a space that's only ours.
And that, my friends, is the secret. The longing, the searching, it's not something to fill, it's something to experience, to live within, because the journey itself is the connection.
I feel you in the shadows, just out of reach. A whisper on the wind, a song we can't teach. I chase you in the silence, but you slip away. Always near but never here, day after day. In the space between, I'm reaching for a love I can't quite see. Caught in the echo of the longing, waiting for what's meant to be. We may never touch, but we're close enough. In the space between, I find your love.
I search for you in every face, in every quiet, sacred space. The distance, the lesson we can't ignore. The search is the love